televiewers, and welcome to another beautiful and exciting moment of your favorite program, Coping with Disabilities. We are presently here at the Rehabilitation Institute of the Blind in Boya, and I want to say that we have a beautiful program today. First of all, we'll be looking at the demonstration of the white cane. We'll also go into the music class where we are going to see the trainees manipulating on the keyboard, and then we are also going to have some other activities that have been carried out here at the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. And then lastly, we will have a word with the director of the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. Thank you and stay tuned. I am your host, Delphina Zochaleke. We'll be right back.
I am called Honorable Mojoko Divan Fadli. At my left we have
Chenza Eviva.
At my right we have
Obase Jean-Marie.
We are here to talk and demonstrate on how we use the white cane. Before I start, Eviva Chenza is going to give us a brief definition on a white cane.
A white cane is a modern walking or traveling stick that helps a visually impaired person in safety when moving from one place to another.
A white cane is a modern walking or traveling stick that gives a visually impaired person a legal safety when moving from one place to another. You have all heard what is a white cane. When a visually impaired person wants to cross the road, he or she raises the cane with the right hand, the left hand up at the level of the elbow, their left leg in front. When the road is silent and a car horns, this is to show that you can cross. Your cane comes down at your right and you move. When you are at the opposite side of the road to see if there is an obstacle in front or behind you, you draw the security circle. Your cane go round and round. Continuation of evidence center.
When a visually impaired person wants to stop a taxi, he or she places the leg in a V form, the cane in between the leg, the left hand on top of the cane, the right hand on top of the left hand, and the index finger pointing the way. This is to show that a visually impaired person wants to stop the taxi. When a visually impaired person needs information, he or she places the cane at the left hand side or at the right hand side and stands at attention.
When a visually impaired person is in danger, he or she raises the cane with the left hand and stands at attention. This is to show that a visually impaired person is in danger. We have two types of techniques. We have the CCT and the TT. The CCT means constant contact technique. It is used on places which are smooth. You make sure you roll your cane from the left to the right, left to right. And the TT means touch technique. It is used on places which are rough. For example, this floor. You make sure your cane is being lifted up. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Je m'appelle Tamofou le Gifter.
Je m'appelle Raphaël Keva.
I'm Bossing and Jean Bayan. We are the group, we are the people working in the music club using the piano. I will demonstrate how to play the piano.
students of the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. They are in the music department. That was so wonderful. Thank you people very much. You're welcome back. We are just in front of the computer center of the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. Just follow me as we see the children manipulating on the computers.
There's a voice that cries out in the silence, searching for a heart that will love him. Longing for a child that will give him their all, give it all.
Boy, how are you?
Fine.
What is your name? Okay, what are you doing?
I want to type.
Okay, you want to type. And what do you have in front of you? What is this? What is this? What are you manipulating on?
A computer.
Okay, so I am feeling, if I touch with my fingers, I'm feeling some extra dots. How do we call them? On the letters?
Braille stickers.
Braille stickers. Okay. What is the use of it, please, madam? Can you just explain to us the use of the Braille stickers?
The use of the Braille stickers enables the visually impaired to quickly identify the keys on the keyboard.
Okay. They use their fingers to feel.
Yes, since they write in dots.
Okay.
And they identify by touching.
Okay. Thank
now
you.
on each letter we have attached a Braille stickers. They just identify the key easily by touching.
Okay. By feeling with your fingers.
Searching for a heart that is desperate, longing for a child that will give him their all, give it all. He wants it all, and he says, love me with your love. He wants it all today. Serve me with more time.
When I go
If we want it all today, so it all. There's a God that walks over the earth. He's searching for a heart that is desperate, longing for a child that will give him their all, give it all. He wants it all, and he says, love me with your whole life. You want it all today. Serve me with your life now. You want it all today. Bow down, let go of your eyes. All today. You want it all today. You want it all today. You want it all.
This is Madam Mercy Sakwe. She's their computer teacher. Please, madam, what is the use of this earpiece?
The earpiece enables the visually impaired to understand what the program is saying and what is going on the computer at that particular time.
Okay.
Because the program is a talking software, it is called the NVDA program, meaning non-visual desktop assistant.
Non-visual desktop assistant.
Yes, so it assists the visually impaired to manipulate the computer.
Okay. Which kind of software program are they using?
The NVDA.
Okay, that's the name of the
That's the
software.
name of the program.
Okay. Thank you.
Like you can see Brian manipulating the computer, is typing. Anything that he does, the software tells him what he's doing.
Okay, if he makes an error,
yes.
okay, it will indicate.
Okay.
are presently in front of the Arts and Crafts workshop here at the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. Please just come with me as we watch the trainees weaving baskets. Stay tuned.
There's a voice that cries out in the time, searching for heart and will.
Mr. Gallos is the workshop monitor here at the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. Good morning, Mr. Gallos.
Good morning, madam.
Okay, so this is your work. This is the workshop, and these are the trainees that you are training. So what exactly are they doing?
Yes, this is the workshop at the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. At the moment, we are doing production of baskets.
Okay. So where do you people get your this ropes that you see? Where do you people get them?
Actually, the materials we are using, we get them from CDC de Monterrey.
Okay, CDC de Monterrey.
Yes, this is what they have been used in binding their cartons. And when people ship things from Europe or America, they also use in binding their goods. So, in a nutshell, we used to title these activities as recycling of industrial waste.
Okay.
Because if these materials are not recycled, they are being thrown to the ocean, they are being thrown around, they litter our environment, and when they are non-degradable products.
Okay, thank you. So what I see here is already a finished product. So how do you people sell them? How do you people do your marketing?
For the marketing, we largely depend for visitors. When visitors come, we use it as exhibition.
Okay.
And we also intend that in a way to give us meaningful employment. We can equally buy our product as souvenir. Sometimes we do carry them to the market. But notwithstanding, we are equally been having some difficulties. And the difficulties we have been having is actually to lobby with the council to give us a store at the My 17 Motor Park, where we can put our things for display. So we have not been able to get them give us that kind of assistance.
You people need a shop where people can display your items.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gallos.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome back, televiewers. You're watching Coping with Disabilities, and here with me is the director of the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. He's Mr. Anuteme Godfrey. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam. You're welcome.
And we want to say thank you very much for having us here in your institution.
The pleasure is mine.
Okay. You are the director of the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind here in Bulu Blind. So what is the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind?
You're right. Thank you, madam, first of all, for giving me this opportunity to talk about our institution. Actually, the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind is a specialized institution of the Ministry of Social Affairs. That is, as its name implies, is in charge of carrying out activities, educational and vocational activities, in order to facilitate the socio-economic reintegration of the visually impaired into the actual and common world.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you've seen the trainees demonstrating with the white cane. So what is the use of the white cane?
Well, the white cane, as we commonly say, is the eye of the sightless.
Okay.
So it is a tool that is used by the visually impaired, by those the blind, in order to, first of all, trace their itinerary, and secondly, in order to raise awareness to other road users that they have difficulties either crossing or finding their way. So first, it is a tool to help them in tracing their way, and secondly, it is a tool to draw attention of other road users that the person carrying that white cane is a person having some difficulties to use the common way.
Now, to what extent has the white cane help in the mobility and integration of the visually impaired?
The white cane, as well, you have seen just the common type here. The white canes are of various types and various qualities.
Okay.
We have white canes that are more complicated and that carry with them vibrators, which are white canes that actually indicate to the user that there is danger.
Okay.
5 meters before you get to the obstacle. Either it is an object where another human being, or it's a ditch or a pit. Now, some of those complicated white canes actually indicate to the user that you are coming to maybe to a point that is very dangerous. Now, coming to the common white cane that we use in our institution, there is what we call the perimeter of security, which actually is the ability to use the white cane by the visually impaired to make sure that there is no danger around the place where he intends to sit or where he intends to lie. And so they use it in order to identify their environment. The second thing is that we have been able to collaborate with other ministerial departments like the Ministry of Transport to make sure that there are models on the visual disabilities that are integrated into the program of those going in for driving permits or driving licenses.
Very important.
So we have successfully gotten this. So it has been eventually this program will be introduced in the training model of most driving schools. Now, secondly, the white cane has improved because some of those who carry along this white cane actually have priorities in most of those areas where they go. And so I think that the white cane as an eye for the sightless has really gone a long way.
The white cane is
the white cane
is an eye for the sightless.
For the sightless has gone a long way to improve on the interaction of the visually impaired with the rest of the society.
Okay, I want us to talk about discipline because discipline is an important factor in any learning institution. When I look at your trainees, knowing that they have problems with their sight, so how do you discipline them?
Now, you're right. We want to say that the presidential decree of 1980 organizing the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind actually makes a provision for some conditions, from some ethical conditions to observe both by the staff and the trainees. Now, you asked about the trainees. I want to say that we, inspired by this presidential decree of 1980, we came out with some internal rules and regulations. And these internal rules and regulations, trainees are called upon to engage, to commit their honor to respecting these rules once in the institution. Yes. And so they commit these rules. We have made sure the update in it is that we have transcribed these rules into Braille. Okay. And so they are actually
because they cannot say they are not aware because they have read using the Braille.
Yes. Okay. So we have transcribed these rules into a Braille, and so they are able. Each trainee has a copy of these rules and regulations, so that once you commit an act that is contrary to one of these rules, you are actually called upon to read it and read the punishment that is spelled for it. Okay. And so that is the first way of ensuring discipline. The second way is through the educative talks and the counseling that the educators in the institution actually give to these trainees. Okay. And they give them lessons, give them lectures through this even what they call listening, therapeutic listening, which are actually techniques that are used in social work in order to control behavior and bar against excesses.
Okay, you are the director of the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind, and please just tell us, what do you expect from the trainees after they must have graduated from this institution?
The ultimate mission we have here is that of making sure that our trainees, upon completion from this center, go out into the society and compete on equal basis in the development of their nation. And that is why we have a service we call the post-cure service, which is actually intended to make sure that those who graduate from here, the service is in charge of finding out what do they become, how many are they, what do they do for a living. And so this is a kind of follow-up service. Now this service, what we do here is that those who do vocational education, when they leave, when they complete their course here, we give what they call resettlement grants.
Okay.
So that they can actually set up a small business.
Like the weaving of the baskets.
The weaving of baskets, making of chairs, making of doormats, agriculture, livestock. Those are activities that we carry out here.
Yes.
Now, activities of rehabilitation that we carry out here. So we make sure that those who have actually completed these courses go there into the society. We make an inventory of their environment and set up actually microeconomic projects that can give them revenue and render them autonomous, because the ultimate objective of rehabilitation is autonomy and the respect of the dignity of those with visual impairments. Okay. Now that concerns those who do vocational education. Now for those who go to who want to pursue the academics, what we do is that we have first of all, we have the 2010 law.
Okay.
that deals with relating to the protection and the promotion of the rights of persons with disabilities.
Okay.
That gives them a litany of rights.
Yes.
Concerning education, concerning employment, concerning sociocultural life. Now what happens is that those who go to secondary education, we make sure that we follow up so that they benefit from the exemption of other forms of fees that are paid mostly in public institutions. And for those who want to go to private institutions, we make sure that adequate provisions are made for them in order to cope with their lectures in these institutions without hindrances. Okay. That is how we do as a form of follow-up, as a form of post-cure, okay, in terms of vocational training, in terms of academics in this institution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Director. We want to say that we are very grateful for having you here, for enabling us to come into your institution. We want to say thank you once again.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine, madam. You are welcome.
Thank you. Hello televiewers, you're welcome back. You're watching Coping with Disabilities. We are here at the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. Please, I would just want each and every one of you to introduce yourself briefly.
My name is Ken Nelson. I'm a student from the University of Goya. I'm here from Mexico to observe and see the activities being carried out and how the students live in the environment. I'm Abongmo Nelson Foni. I'm also a student from the University of Goya studying special education. I'm also here for observation to see how they do. Yes, I'm Mr. Kuma Ale, an educator in the center and the head of the music department.
I'm the computer instructor.
And this is Sonita, one of the trainees here at the Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind. We want to say that thank you very much for watching Coping with Disabilities. I have been your host, Delphine Azocha Leke. See you some other time and bye-bye.
Bye.